Now that we have our strawberries thawed out, I will crush them and measure them until we have 8 cups of strawberries. So not too long ago, we actually picked these strawberries, and we would pick them until we had enough to make jam. And it took us a while, but we eventually got 1 margarine container full, and we got 2 ice cream pails full of strawberries. And we froze them until we were ready to make jam. So when you freeze berries, it intensifies the flavor for when you're making jam. Now that our strawberries are crushed, I will now start to measure our strawberries. I'm gonna lift it up like this. Making a mess. Here's 1 cup. 2 cups. Okay, you know what? I'm gonna do it over the pot. Now that my strawberries are crushed, I will add until I get my 8 cups. Now that I have finished my 8 cups of strawberries, I will add 1/3 of a cup of lemon juice. Now that I've added my lemon juice, I will add my 6 cups of sugar. There's 2 cups. There's my 4 cups. And there is my 6 cups. Now that we have everything together, we will mix it, and then we will put it on our stove to cook. Now that I'm done mixing, I will turn the stove to medium-low, and I will slowly stir it until all of our sugar is dissolved. Then we will slowly bring it to a boil. So now that the sugar is all dissolved, I will slowly turn up the heat for it to boil. It will boil for about 40 minutes, and at that time, I will show you 2 different ways to gel test. So, now that our jam is boiling, you should constantly stir because it might burn. Right here, we have our jars in boiling water so they can sterilize. Okay, now that I've cooked my jam for about 40 minutes, I will show you how to do the gel tests. I will start with the first gel test. So first, you take this off your burner, and leave it there. Now, you will grab a chilled spoon from the freezer, and you will pick it up, and you will put it like this. And if it's dripping like that, it is almost done. The first gel test with the spoon, it wasn't quite ready. So now I'm gonna do it again to test if it is ready. So you see how it's dripping off in sheets? It will all come down and it'll stick to the spoon. But at first, it will look like it's not, but then it will drip down sheets like this. Okay, so now that I'm done doing the first, I will show you how to do the second. So what you do is grab your plate, you put it down, we'll grab that same spoon, take a bit, and you put it right on your plate like that. Now, you will put it in the freezer for 1 minute. And then when it's been 1 minute, you will run your finger through it, and if it wrinkles, then you know it's done. And if it doesn't, then you might have to cook it for 3 to 5 minutes long. Okay, so now that's been a minute, we'll take our jam out. And to test if it's done, you will slowly run your finger through it. And if it's wrinkling like that, that's how you know it's done. That's how you know you got jam. And keep in mind that when you do your gel test, you always need, well, you should take your jam off the burner because it could burn and it could ruin your whole jam. Now that our jam has reached gel stage, we will fill up our jars to a 1/4 inch from the top. Okay. Now that we filled it, we're gonna continue with our next jar. So now that I'm done filling the jars with jam, I will seal them. So a good thing to do is to put your lid inside of boiling water because the rubber on the inside will help the jar seal better. So what you want to do is you want to take your lid, put it right on top, right in the center. You'll take your cover, put it on top, and you'll just twist it until it fits nice and snug right on the jar. And after we are done doing all these jars, you will put them in the canner. And so now that we have our jars in the canner, we will let them boil in the water for about 10 minutes. So now that it's been 10 minutes of leaving these jars in the canner, I will take them out, put them on this rack, and leave them to sit for 24 hours. And if you can, it's better to spread them apart than keep them contained. Okay, so when I was putting the jars down, if you did notice, the lids, they were popping. And that means that the lid, it properly sealed around the jar. So if you hear that, that's good, not bad.